Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle! Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
And it's even more embarrassing to do with someone else here with us.
I was going to say, I don't think we've ever done that with someone.
I don't think we have either. I don't think.
Brian,
I don't know. Anyway, more importantly, guys, we have a guest today, and it's a very, very, very special guest because this is our first official player interview. So I would like to just welcome and say thank you, a huge thank you to Emily Brown for coming on today and giving us your time because we're excited. We're very excited because this is the first time
all week.
Longer. No, thanks for having me. I'm just as excited, and I didn't realize I was like the first player guest. So that makes it even more exciting. I'm honored.
Yes. Absolutely.
I think you're going to be our favorite player because you are our first player guest.
Hey,
so
I'll take it.
I said that this morning. I'm like, is Brownie now our favorite player because she's been our first player guest on the podcast? Right. Well, as a brand new team, we didn't even know who the players were until very, very recently. So anyway, it's great having you here. We really just want to dig in and, just talk to you. As a lot of our listeners know, we started this podcast talking about our hockey journey, like how we became hockey fans. And if you don't know, I'm a newbie hockey fan. Within the last year, I started really getting into hockey. So because of my wife. So I ask really dumb questions, but I think that's what part of what we really like about this is because we're hoping we can draw new fans into the league. So we want to know, without further ado, tell us how you got into hockey. Tell us your hockey story.
Oh, I love this question. One, welcome to the hockey world and the community. Happy to have you. And there's no such thing as a dumb question in hockey, so I'll just start with that. But my hockey journey was a little bit non-traditional for Minnesota standards. Obviously, I grew up in Minnesota where there's a million ways to get into hockey, and
the state of hockey, right? I know that.
What they say. That's what they say. Obviously, a ton of frozen lakes in the winter to skate on and whatnot. But no one in my immediate family played hockey, so it wasn't really like my siblings or anything like that. But I grew up around a rink, one of many here, and when I was about 4 years old, my parents kind of took me and my sister to that rink, and we would play around. Bandy was the really big sport there, which is it's a Scandinavian sport. It's often described as soccer on ice with a stick, a curved stick. So kind of hockey-esque, not really, but some flavors in there. And really, I just loved skating. And my parents found at a garage sale, like a little hockey net and stick, and I started playing with that in my driveway. And they signed me up for hockey, and the rest is kind of history. And it's just kind of stuck. So I started skating when I was 2 and playing hockey when I was 4. And I don't want to do the math on how long it's been since then, but it's been quite a few years, and still love it.
I have a math degree and I'm not even going to do the math for you.
Right.
Emily,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I love it. Garage sale, stick and net.
That is awesome.
That's awesome.
Right.
And totally non-traditional Minnesota way to get into it there because it's huge in Minnesota. And I'm just, so it feels like it was your destiny almost more than your roots.
Yeah, something like, my sister was always active. She played sports growing up. She was soccer, basketball, and always looked up to her, always wanted to be like her. And honestly, she's a big reason of why I'm the athlete I am today. And but hockey was just never. My dad was a wrestler, so I did have a wrestling stint, which is always a fun fact to bring up to people. In 4th grade, that I was on the school wrestling team, undefeated. No worries.
But, that's awesome. I love it.
But no hockey in the family there until I came along.
Wow. So I know that in high school you were a multi-sport athlete.
You did follow in your sister's footsteps.
I was like, that wasn't that. Sorry, I'm a little bit of an Instagram stalker. I'm just going to throw that out there. So I try to deep dive a little bit, when we talk about people or talk to people now, gratefully. So tell us about that. I know you played hockey in high school, but you didn't only play hockey in high school.
Yeah, no, I played soccer. I loved soccer. I was a goalie in soccer. That was a strategic decision because they don't have to run very much. So I went back there.
Woman after my own heart. Me too. I hate to run. Yeah.
But that doesn't really match up with my spring sport because then I ran track as a distance runner.
I was doing it. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, it doesn't add up. Yeah, it really doesn't. But yeah, so I did track in the spring, and that was I enjoyed that too. I'm not a huge runner necessarily, but it was nice to kind of do something different, stay active, have a different group of friends and stuff like that. So yeah, soccer, hockey, and track, and then was always kind of doing whatever else in my free time, like to keep busy.
Now we've talked about, sorry to interrupt you, but we talked about this in hockey. We have the goalie that was a captain, kind of in name, but is it usual for a soccer goalie to be captain, or is that unusual as well as in hockey?
Great question. I loved that is like something I don't actually really know. Like I don't know. It was cool. Like I just remember like the thing that I remember most from soccer is like how fun it was like to be playing a different sport. I love hockey. All like my
oh really? You play it professionally? Yes, I'm so surprised.
I love it.
I'm so surprised.
I love soccer. During the soccer season, I loved soccer almost just as much. It was so fun to just play a different sport, and I think it overall made me a better hockey player too, to kind of have that different experience and take a little bit of a break. I was still playing hockey during the soccer season, but take a bit of a break and use that competitive nature in a different way.
That's cool.
That's cool. So we have a friend, Brian, who does fact checking for us. So we're going to shout out Brian. Do soccer goalies are they often captains or not? And we'll get an answer. He'll answer us. I love it. So
I need to know too.
YouTube and Instagram, he will answer us either place. So just so you know. So anyway, that's so funny. Well, and the funny thing is what we really noticed is that there is a lot of former captains on our Seattle team. So we were going down the list and we were like, captain. Is that hard to have a bunch of leaders on the same team? I mean, I know you guys haven't actually started yet, but like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think, in my experience, I think it's amazing. I think everyone brings, a different leadership skill set to the table. And I think that's a really cool trait that we have, in credit to Meg Turner in building a roster that has such great leadership qualities. And everyone leads a little bit in a different way, but just to have that, high character locker room from the start, I think is really cool, and something I'm excited to be a part of and learn from other people around me, and also bring my own experience to the table as well.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so we're going to move on to college. So you did play hockey in college.
Go first.
Yes.
Go first.
Go first.
Okay, and you played 5 years in college, so this is something we talk about often, and I actually haven't had an opportunity to talk to someone who experienced this, because you were playing during the COVID years, and so the 2021 season was the year that everybody got a pass, right? So you had the fifth year of eligibility, which has been unusual until everybody had the COVID year, right? So
yeah,
how was that playing in college during COVID? That sounds crazy.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, COVID and that time period was crazy for everyone, right? Like, just nuts, really. But I just remember during college, so we were going into the NCAA tournament, and we had quarterfinals coming up, and that's kind of when everything shut down. So the 2020 season was cut short for us right as we were getting into NCAAs, which was crazy for so many reasons. And then so then obviously had an opportunity to do a fifth year. And I remember at the time thinking, like, it was a little bit of a debate, like, oh, should I do this? And it didn't take me too long to decide, like, oh, I want to keep playing in college. And at the time, like, there was no clear-cut professional women's hockey league. The PWHL didn't exist yet. So it really, for me, it was about, I want to keep playing hockey at the highest level possible. And I felt like that was what I could do at the University of Minnesota. So yeah, it was crazy. A lot of great things came from it. I was able to get a master's degree during that fifth year, which was cool. Something I probably wouldn't have done, at least right away, without that.
That was my next question, so I love it. I love that you preempted my next question.
Yes. But yeah, no, it was great. And, I think a lot of good came from COVID, obviously. A lot of things came from it, but when I look back on it, I'm grateful to have that fifth year and to continue playing at the University of Minnesota for one more year.
It's awesome.
Yeah, one of the great things that came from it is this, like the whole Zoom, explosion. And so,
Right.
I'm grateful because we're talking to you on a platform that might not have been, well, maybe it was still there. Brian will tell us, but it's just exploded. And to be able to have this conversation with you is amazing. But also, I wanted to
Yeah.
touch on something you said, that at the time, playing at college was the pinnacle experience as a
As a
woman.
woman, yeah.
And to
Mhm.
have that, to just go to the next level and be, the PWHL is just, it's got to be just mind blowing to you that you're a professional hockey player.
But wait, you
Mhm.
played you played in the other league.
The
Do we
other
do we
one,
do we
yes.
talk about that? Do we talk about that? Can we name it? Can we say it? No,
Yeah,
just
yes.
kidding. I'm kidding.
No, yeah, it really is nuts when I think about it. And like, when I was going through college, like I was going professional in something else in my degree, and at some point I will do that. But there was no, there
Wait,
was
wait, wait, wait,
no.
wait, wait. You're not gonna play hockey for the rest of your life? Are you kidding me right now?
I
No.
would love to. I would love to. But if all else fails, I do
Got
have
it.
something to fall
Gotta
back
You've
have
got
on.
you
gotta
got a
have a
master's in
fallback.
engineering to back up on. I love that. Yeah.
Fall back on.
Yeah.
No, but it really is crazy, and I don't think any of us have kind of lost sight of how grateful we are to have this platform. Obviously, always pushing for more and fighting for what we feel we deserve. But really, it's not lost on me that 3-4 years ago we didn't even have something there to be like I want to play in the PWHL. So I hear girls that I coach or that I talk to, young girls in high school or younger, and they say I want to play in the PWHL, and that's something that I don't think we'll ever get old because that wasn't. We lived firsthand, and I'm lucky. I only had 1 year without post grad without the league, but the girls like the Hillary Knights, the Lee Stecklines, Kelly Pan, everyone that has been fighting for years and not having a professional league. It's just it'll never you know I'll never get used to that or feel any less grateful than I am right now that we have what we have to play in a true professional league.
How do you think your life would have been different if you had that to look forward to as a young girl, before high school, before all that, to know that like this would be something. I mean, I'm sure you dreamed about it and imagined
Mm-hmm.
it, but to know it as a reality, do you think it would have shaped anything different in you?
I think, yeah, I think it would have, had that extra level of like, oh, this is what I'm shooting for. I felt like I was always, motivated and wanting to be the best that I can, but just knowing that something is out there and you can see it and you can see that, okay, I can follow this person and try and be like them because they've reached where I want to be. And I think that's a huge thing. And also just, feeling more validated in what you're doing too. I mean, I remember in that year after first year post grad, trying to explain to people like, oh, I'm playing professional hockey, but there's two leagues, and just trying to explain everything, and you're not making a ton of money, and people are like, why are you not working a 9 to 5, and just kind of like having those, and you just really had to trust the process, trust what people are saying to you that a league is coming, and really that belief came from within of like what I'm doing is worthwhile and it will pay off. Where now hopefully girls younger, they feel validated. They know that like there is a professional league and no one's questioning that or anything in that regard.
Yeah.
Possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and as a newbie, I'm gonna ask some newbie
Yeah.
questions now. So we had the opportunity to watch the regular draft. We'll talk about the expansion draft in a minute, but we had the opportunity to watch the regular draft, and it televised and, live and all that kind of stuff. I don't think that's the way it was when you were drafted into the league. Was it? Did they have a live thing like they did this year?
Yeah, they did. So it was a similar format, but it was like, if I remember correctly, we'll have to get your fact checker on it, but I
Yeah,
think it
yeah.
was
Brian's
a,
on it.
15 round draft. So it was quite long. And it had to be obviously no fault of the league. It had to be.
Right.
It was 15 rounds, and I just remember it was a YouTube live stream. They did have some people in person. I believe it was in Toronto. They had some people in person, but I just remember watching on my couch, my apartment.
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna ask, like, tell us
Like
and
about
it
that
was like
experience. Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like it was crazy because you're like, this was in like fall, and things were happening so fast. The league was announced, and then a draft, and then you leave like the next month. And I just remember sitting there, and it was like the 8th round or something, so it wasn't right away, obviously. And I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, okay, like what's happening? Whatever. I hear my name get called, and Boston, and that at that time it was the first time I would be leaving the nest and leaving Minnesota. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like going to shipping up to Boston, as I say, like
Yeah.
crazy. And it was just like such a crazy experience seeing your name pop up, and then you're kind of just like, okay, like that's like, it was just like, now what? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
crazy.
Okay, but I'm picturing this, and I need the picture. My wife is the visual one, I'm audio, but I do need the picture. You're on your couch. Were you alone? Were there people with you? Were you celebrating? Was it your dogs? What's going on?
So my family was not, I wasn't with my family or anything. It was actually kind of funny. My mom had the whole day blocked off. She was working, but she was watching the draft, but she had a dentist appointment for like 45 minutes. And the draft started at like, I don't know what time it started. Let's say 1 o'clock, and her dentist appointment was at like 3. Okay. And so
This is a great
that should be
story.
plenty of time. And like, it's kind of hard to get into the dentist. Like, you're gonna reschedule that in 6 months. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
Like the
You gotta go to your
dermatologist, you do
appointment.
not reschedule
Right.
that.
You're kind of locked in. So whatever. So she's like, so I still haven't called. She's like, I'm going into the dentist for like 30 minutes. Naturally, I get drafted in that 30 minutes. She's sitting in the chair. And I text her, I'm like, I'm going to Boston, whatever. And she's like, are you kidding? I missed it. Whatever. So
She's got the thing in her mouth.
no,
Yeah.
like getting the plaque ripped off. No, but yeah, so it was a little bit of a different experience than like a typical draft experience, just with the nature of everything kind of coming together. But yeah, the draft this year was amazingly put together, and everyone that I heard from loved it and had a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was my first official draft of any sort, like any sport. I've never been a sports fan before. Like before this, it was like sports balls. Like, what are we talking about? I don't know. I grew up in Kansas City, so obligatorily I had to be a Chiefs fan. But other than like when they're in the Super Bowl, I don't really care. No, okay. So who cares about that? Let's fast forward and let's talk about the expansion draft this year.
Yeah.
So we were watching it live at a
the
watch
Rough and
event
Tumble,
at the Rough
yeah.
and Tumble here in Seattle,
Thanks,
which
Dave.
now you've been to the Rough and Tumble, so
Yes,
you've got that in your you've got that in your mind. But tell us about your experience and what that was like. And I don't know how much you can tell us about what you knew going into it, but I would love to hear like what that was like.
Yeah, that was a crazy time. Obviously, we had heard the expansion news pretty early on, like a few months prior when the season was even still going. So, the details of how many players would be protected and how many, all the logistical stuff was kind of up in the air until kind of a few weeks prior. So,
Yeah.
we all kind of were like, what's going on? But I remember the days leading up to it when everyone's signing in free agency, and the first 3 players and stuff was nuts. Like, you're just seeing people and you're like, what do you mean Hillary Knight's leaving Boston and going to Seattle? Like, it was just like, Sarah Nurse is going to Vancouver. It was crazy to see all these like franchise players kind of getting picked up and whatnot. But yeah, the night of the expansion draft, I was with my mom that night.
Oh, good.
No
Good on mom.
appointment.
Good
No
on
dentist
mom.
appointment. No dentist appointment. So I was in the living room with her and with her dogs and whatever, and we're sitting on the couch YouTube live stream again. I was probably a little nervous, and just I don't know what's gonna happen, but obviously the last pick came around, and I was pumped to be going to Seattle. I mean, I like Hillary. Playing with her is amazing.
That's gotta
This
be
will be
amazing.
our fourth season playing together now. So
Wow.
and obviously all the people that they had drafted leading up to, I was like, this is a objectively stacked team, and I'm so excited to be.
Thank you for saying that, because it's something that we feel deep down, like it's stacked and it's got a lot of potential. I didn't mean to interrupt. I know I interrupt. Sorry, babe.
No, it's my life. It's my life. Like, I have to like keep my train of thought because I'm like, she's gonna interrupt. She's gonna interrupt. No. It's okay. I love her. It's
You're
fine.
funny. You're funny. No. Yeah, so it was amazing. I'm obviously loved my time in Boston and nothing but great things from that organization. But I was super excited to be joining Seattle, and the city. I've heard nothing but good things. It matches my kind of earthy, crunchy vibe.
Yep.
So I'm excited to experience that, but also the hockey and the team that's been assembled. And again, it is stacked, and those players like Harp and Hillary and Hannah Bilk, I am so grateful to be on their team and not have to play against them in games. Like, it is like that I am excited for.
That's a good take. I like that take. I'm glad I don't have to play against them.
Right.
I love it. So,
I had a question.
Okay, you go ahead and then I'll go
Before we
on.
go off that,
Yeah.
the sun's acting weird. Where's it coming in over there? Sun, it happens in Seattle, and we're in Tacoma, but it does happen. So, and I don't know if you want to speak on this more, Emily, but
Mhm.
you were in Boston. You knew you were unprotected, so that you might go. Did you hope to stay in Boston, or were you happy to be picked up in Seattle? Did you want to be picked up? I don't know what you want to say there.
Yeah, no, I think I would have been, again, I love my time at Boston. I would have been happy to be back, but I think the way that I was approaching it is like, what a cool opportunity to start a new franchise in a new city, where they're intentionally, selecting you to be a part of that building process. So, I was honored to be selected. Would have been happy to stay in Boston, but just really happy to be in Seattle and to be chosen to be a part of that building blocks of the future of this franchise. And the more I've been, we came out to Seattle for a few days. We've met so many of you, and like it's just only, grown exponentially. And how excited like I am to get out there. I can't wait for November 1st when we're all heading out there, and then puck drop whenever that may be. And
Yeah.
just so excited to be a part of it, really.
That's great. I'm still chapped that I missed that event. If I didn't get to go,
She had to work.
FOMO. I
Right.
had to
Yeah.
work.
I know, and it's funny when I show up at an event by myself, people are like, where's Patty?"
Yeah.
We're a package deal. So,
Oh,
um, Seattle is not historically known as a hockey development city, you know what I mean? And so I know that you've talked about the fact that you've done some coaching of, junior hockey or littles or whatever. Tell us
mhm.
about like what's your ideal of like what that's going to look like here in Seattle? Like how are you going to get involved in the
'Cause
hockey
we know you
community
want to get
here?
back to the community
Yeah.
because you've done it already, and we love that part of you. So what do you see yourself
Mhm.
doing here?
Yeah, I think, there's so many opportunity to grow the game because people, might not be necessarily as exposed to it as in other areas like, Minnesota, obviously familiar with that. But I think what a cool opportunity to introduce people to the game and whatever that may look like. Obviously, we did, you know, a sports camp in
Awesome.
partnership with the Kraken when we were out
Yeah.
there. And just things like that, seeing people get excited and maybe in a sport that they might not have heard of, haven't been exposed to, and be like, oh, this is kind of fun. And, maybe they join hockey, maybe they don't, but just like getting them familiar and getting in the community, I think is so important to grow just our connection with people and their connection to us. And, if they come out to games, great, whatnot, but just really, trying to become familiar faces to people and not just someone on a screen or someone down there on the ice, but really friendly faces in the community. And I love that personally. And I know I speak on behalf of many others in the league that we don't take that lightly and are just so like, that's one of the best parts is meeting fans and meeting kids and getting them excited about PWHL Seattle and hockey overall.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are right there with you. And, as she said, she's a newbie. I'm an old-time hockey fan, a Ducks
Yeah.
fan from way back, and season ticket holder down there since 2007. So to come up
Oh,
here,
wow.
Yeah.
yeah, without,
Oh no, she gave up her season tickets for me, Emily. So if you probably understand. Oh yeah, she to move up here and for us, like,
That's
yeah,
huge.
it
Your
was
head's
huge.
got to be pretty big from that, eh?
yeah, yeah. I made that Stanley Cup from scratch in 2007 when the Ducks won the Stanley Cup and went to every game. Okay, but to have this game, it was just this team was gifted to me, and it's almost like here's your reward for giving
Mhm.
up what you had there, and now you can root on women
Right.
professionally.
Right.
And we're obviously inaugural season ticket holders, and we will always be, and cannot wait to watch you play and watch the team gel and just so excited. I hope we get to see some practices, and I'm really excited for the chemistry of the team because I think it's going to be really amazing.
Absolutely. And I'm so excited for that. I know our team is so excited for that. I know, I'm sure we've got so many fun things in the works, open practice, whatever, all of that will come together. And I'm so excited to see how we mesh as a team. I know it'll be great. The hockey world's small. Obviously, we've all
Yeah.
played with and against each other, but how cool is it to, come together and create a new identity, a new culture that's already, you know, so strong and only going to be stronger with the leadership group that's already been assembled on the team here.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, so final question. Tell us how you want
Yes.
or what you need from the fans to support you guys in getting this going forward.
Oh man, You guys have already done so much, really. And like, we felt like so much love and support. And just from, just from, day one, really. Like we haven't played a game, and you guys are showing out to season ticket member events or events like that. And we felt that love. And I would say just continuing to, show up to the game, show your support, and whether that's interacting on social media, anything like that. We feel that, especially in the arena. I remember playing in our neutral site game, Boston versus Montreal at Climate Pledge. And I remember
we were there.
We were there.
Yes. Oh, no doubt. But I just remember being like, wow, what a cool city and fan base. I would love for them, for it to not be a neutral site and them all cheering for us. And, here we are now. But it's the energy is just unmatched for women's sports in the city. And so we're just so excited to become a part of that culture and meet all of you guys along the way. And I'll be cheering for some big Seattle wins.
That's right. And here's the last question, really. I am the last word queen.
Yeah.
The t-shirt, the Bad Girl t-shirt, did you have those made or did the team make them for you? What's going on there?
You're gonna love this answer. That was our fearless leader, Hillary Knight. So that was all her.
Yes.
And that, I think that just speaks to the type of leader she is, the type of locker room girl she is. Like she's players first, and that was all her idea, and she came to me with the idea, and I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd be all, whatever. So that was something really cool. She got those all made and thrown together, and it was a pretty cool moment, and the whole team kind of rallied around it. But yeah, that's all Hill there.
You'll have that t-shirt for the rest of your life, right?
Oh, 100%. I haven't taken it off. It's on.
It's on underneath.
Yes.
Awesome. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time. Yeah, we're really as our inaugural player interview.
You knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, absolutely.
You scored a goal.
Honored. Right, there you go. Down or something. Yeah, absolutely. No, thanks for having me.
We cannot wait for puck drops. So
yeah,
really excited.
We'll see you at the rink.
Excited.
Okay.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.